Hi, welcome to another episode of Lions Talks. I'm your host, Montay Savoy, and I'm here with.
Rafael Bonilla.
Elijah.
Jason Burner.
And the topic today is how to leave a toxic relationship. You guys, I have this struggle. Sometimes I don't know what it means to leave, how easy it is to leave a toxic relationship. Some people show me a good time. How would you leave a toxic
Bro,
relationship?
that good time shit is not worth it, bro. I'm letting you know this now. And y'all got the love dot there, so y'all already know what time it is. I'm about to talk my shit real quick.
Go ahead, talk it.
The thing with toxic relationships, it's like you ever worked at a job that you don't like, and it's like you sit there and deal with it day by day, every day for 7 days a week. And then next thing you know is like you had that final straw that broke the camel's back, and you just said, "Fucking, I'm out." That's basically what a toxic relationship is when you get tired of dealing with a person that sucks out your energy. That is like you just gotta go. It's a gateway. It's just like I'm out.
Also, I mean, that is like a prime example, but there's more than one. And I think the issue most people have is identifying if you're in a toxic relationship from the start.
What is a toxic relationship?
You know what I mean?
I
Let's
mean,
break it down.
yeah, I
right?
mean, a toxic relationship could be anything,
It
but
could be physical,
It can
mental.
be. And then the issue is that a lot of people, like when you're with someone for so long,
Yeah.
you adoptively take that energy and you don't even know.
Well, you're used to it. That's
Yeah,
what it is.
yeah.
You become used
So
to it.
it's
That's
like,
what
and
it
you don't
is.
even realize it's toxic.
You know, you got to like take a step
That's the
back.
problem.
I mean,
You
it-
realize
now,
it, but
okay. So now, like, think about it, guys. It's like you're in love with this person. You don't want to leave them. You know how love is. You know
Yeah.
it's hard.
Listen, love
you
is
know,
complicated
and
as well,
It
bro.
is complicated, but you don't notice the toxic.
it doesn't have to be
yeah,
complicated,
because
but it is because
that's why the saying "love is blind" is so very true.
yeah,
Yep.
it is. It is,
Yep.
and it's things that you don't see at first.
Yep.
Bro, listen, it's
I
like
always say there's like a honeymoon stage.
Or
There's
Oh,
a
yes.
honeymoon stage for everybody in
Oh,
every
yeah, it
relationship.
is.
It
This
could be
is true.
friendships and
This is true.
relationships.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
And after the 3 months of that honeymoon stage, you actually kind of see the person. You see the person who they really are after the 3 months.
Right.
So notice how somebody changes after the 3 months of you being together with them, and they start changing. This is the real them. That's the real them.
Yeah, you
nobody
find out
can.
who they, you
It's
find
not-
out their
it's not-
true
it's not even
colors.
3
You
months.
can't. Nobody can wait that long to be, this good person that all
But
the
that's
time.
why people take their time to get to know each other, so they kind of know who they're gonna be with
I mean,
Exactly.
even when you do take your time,
in dating.
people
Yeah.
don't. There's red flags you might not even see because
Maybe
it's
not.
like you have red flags of your own that you don't even know.
Bro, listen, I tell people all the time,
Gotta be self-aware.
give it a year. You'll know who that person is after a year. It's not even 3 months. It's a whole year. See, when you with somebody for a long time, I tell everybody this, right? A whole year with that person that you spending time with every single day will let you know how much how much energy that person is taking away from you, or how much energy that person is adding for you.
Well, sometimes you may not even identify that they're toxic, or you may not know who they are until you move in with them. That's when you really find out who they really are.
That's true.
Let's be honest.
In certain
That's so true.
situations,
Because I didn't know who my ex was until I moved in with her.
but I think that's what any of us. We
That's
never
what
know who
anybody,
our
though,
ex
best
was
friends.
until,
I mean,
right.
until
I'm just
certain
making a
hot
statement
person
about the
situation.
girlfriend situation, right?
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, because once the narrative changes, the perspective changes. Your perspective, I'm sorry, changes with that. So it's like, oh,
Yep.
I'm with this person I could party with. Cool, we got to pay bills now.
Right.
Can't party like we used to. Now there's a sense of maturity or
It's the change.
unmaturity that some people deal with. It's like,
But in the end, a
I
lot
used
of
to be
people
able to
can
do
deal with
this.
change.
I can't do this no more.
That's
And
true.
it's like, and you're not like this. And it's like, well, yeah, we used to be able to do that in our 20s or
Yeah, but not a lot of people can deal with change.
See, when it affects
true.
your ability to make judgment, and it affects more than just your mentality, emotionally too, that's when you got to get out and just say, listen, I've had my time with that person. I've tried getting them not to change like who they are, but change their bad habits. But if they're not able to change, you got to make a change in your own life.
Man,
with
listen, I'm
that.
happy I
That's
have no
true.
more toxic relationships
I
in my
mean,
life, bro. Fuck that shit.
Loyalty is rare. Loyalty is so
It's
rare.
scarce in
Very
this
rare.
world.
It's
People would
becoming
rather
rare
have a
and
good
rare.
time than a good thing.
It's
That's-
loyalty and trust that's so scarce in this world. See, here's the thing: without trust, you can't even have loyalty. And that's one thing
true.
I learned throughout my time with relationships with certain females that I dated, especially with one of my worst relationships. It was like the trust that I had for you was gone within an instant after you made that move to screw me over. So it's like I don't say I have to give you no loyalty anymore because you didn't show me that loyalty that I expected you to show. So it was basically a hard situation for me to get out of because like I knew the love that I had for that person, but it's like I had to think about it myself. What do I value more? That love that I have or my peace of mind? And I chose my peace.
All right, so have you guys ever been that person to be toxic to somebody that they had to leave?
Yes.
Yes.
Nah.
If you can't admit that, I mean, I think I had too at a
no.
point.
I mean,
I'm
we're
not
all
even-
not perfect.
Yeah,
we're not
we're not
perfect,
perfect,
but-
but you gotta really
but-
sit with yourself and say, "Yo, have I ever been that toxic person?" Also,
But have you taken accountability
Well, that's the,
for it
that's
too?
the thing.
yes.
I mean,
Like I always say, I messed up a few relationships that I wish I could save, and I cannot do that at times.
Right.
Okay,
I mean,
but
you can't
how
change
did
the
you?
past.
But hold
I
on,
can't
how
change
did
the
you
past.
mess up those relationships though? Because actually, it takes two for a relationship to come together. It takes
does.
two for a relationship to end.
well, I think,
Well, sometimes it's not that.
It's not
Yeah.
that, but it's just like
it literally could just be one person messing up a
Correct.
yeah, it
relationship.
could.
You know what I mean? And it's like, and that's where the accountability comes in. It's like you might not see something you're doing that's creating a problem.
Right.
Like you might be with a person who has anxiety, right? And you don't deal with anxiety, so you don't pay mind to it. So you're doing things. They tell you, "Oh, I don't like when you do that."
Right.
Oh, you're overreacting.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That overreaction over time builds up, and it becomes an
Correct.
issue or an
Like
argument.
they'll be holding it inside.
because
that's
it's
a
like I
fact.
told you
Yeah.
that bothers me,
Yeah.
and you. Oh, it's not a big deal. Okay, cool.
To you, it's
I mean,
not a
I
big
could say
deal.
7 months, 8 months down the line, it's
Yeah.
like we're fist fighting about it. And again, your reaction, you're bugging out. It's
Well,
not a big deal.
If there's a
But
fist fight,
well, I'm just saying, like, I mean, again, toxic stuff has happened. You know what I mean? Like I've had my share.
I'm going.
But, you know what I
I'm
mean?
going.
Nah,
If
son,
there's-
going crazy.
I mean,
Yeah.
you got guys like, and you got guys and women who have controlled relationships
Yeah.
through physical things.
Yeah.
No, that's
and
a fact.
you don't admit that to your
Yeah.
friends. Like, yo,
No.
I went home and I got beat today.
Yeah.
You know, or I'm not gonna go to work and be like, yo, like my girl like said I can't go outside with y'all no more.
Man, listen.
because you automatically, and that's not happening.
Ralph,
to me.
you be
And
talking the
that's not
crazy
happening.
stories.
Here's
Like,
my
where we going with this
No, no,
one?
no.
I
We're
didn't
not
do
going
that.
with this.
Hold on,
I'm just
hold on,
saying,
hold on,
hold on,
hold on,
hold on.
it's all right.
Hold on.
I'm just saying, I know people, and I've had experiences too.
Yeah.
I never got beat. I'm just saying.
Okay.
But it's just like,
Shit.
you know what I
Talking-
mean?
Talking hypothetically.
Because I know people like
That do that.
They're unconsciously submissive, and they don't
Yeah.
know that they are.
I understand.
And it's like, you know, and then you're so in love with a person that you dismiss that fact.
Mm-hmm.
But
And
then
it's
again,
like, I
when you-
love this person. They just overreacted.
Yeah.
And that's why like there's relationships that were led to like,
Mm.
you know, people accidentally killing somebody.
Yeah.
Because like, why would you do that? I told you not to do that,
You know,
right?
people-
And
some
I'm
You gotta have
that's a fact.
self-control is really what
Yeah.
it comes
Some
down
people
to.
don't even know a simple communication and apology can fix so many
does.
things.
But
It
here's
can
the thing, not
be
a lot
the
of
bigger
people have
person,
that
but
communication
people use
skill.
ego. But ego can be used in so many different complications. But in this one particular, you have to own up to being wrong. Like I notice, listen, I'm not perfect. Nobody is. I know in a relationship, yeah, I was wrong, like minorly a few times. But then again, whatever minor I thought it was for me might not be minor for the other person.
Nah, that's a fact. Cause
So the thing is, you got to be mindful of other people. But the thing is, if you know it's the other person, and that other person more than likely will not own up to it because they don't think they're wrong, that's a problem.
nah, that's a fact.
That's a problem.
That is,
Cut.
and it just my bad, and it just overshadows down the line because it's like you could legitimately have a great relationship, but then it's like pet peeves that, and then your friends too, like
Yeah.
your friends might not like the way you get treated, and they tell you that, so then you create animosity between your friends because you're genuinely in love with a person.
Facts.
So then you're picking relationships unconsciously. You're
Nah,
not consciously.
I can't do that, and that's one thing why like most of my relationships end just because like, I had to make that choice whether or not I was her or my friends.
And that's a good conscious choice.
Right. And sometimes, I'm sorry, Monte.
No.
Sometimes
Do you think?
on a level, some people might change. Let's be honest, like I'm free spirited. I'm equal to everybody and everything.
Free-spirited nigga,
But
yeah.
other people might not be like after 2 toxic relationships with maybe a Caucasian person, they might not want to talk to a Caucasian, like they might not want to involve themselves with a Caucasian person because maybe they like, maybe they think they're all like that. Some people have assumptions and they kind of go off of that. And not saying that that's right.
Yo, you know what's so crazy? You
but
know what it is
people change
nowadays?
like that.
No, nowadays
Oh my
they
God,
be
zodiac
like,
signs for
yo,
sure.
that's what I'm saying. I was about to say zodiac signs. Bro,
for
listen,
sure.
listen.
They would have
I'm
been like, you're Sagittarius?
yo,
Oh
listen.
my
They be
God.
like, no, listen. They be
But-
like, yo, you're
what did I do?
Aquarius.
But the thing is,
Oh,
you can't
man.
change. You can't give up on just one. If you're into every, if you don't have a preference with race or nationality, you shouldn't give up on it because not everybody's the same.
No, it's true.
But that's how
not
people
everybody is
are,
the same.
But-
nowadays. If
You know what I'm
you're-
saying,
yeah,
though.
race and zodiac signs, it's
But let's be real.
pointless. It's
listen,
fully
a
pointless.
lot of listen. I'm be honest. A lot of females nowadays out here, they will go off of that. They will go off of zodiac signs, your skin color, your height, what you making, all that. And it's
Definitely
just
height.
like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, most of my relationships, it was always about like, well, I would say 50% was mostly about money, and 50% was always about like me and the people that I surround myself with. But it's like you gotta realize, like, I built bonds with people that actually had my back before I even met you. So it's like you sitting here trying to be toxic and all that, saying that like you should be that only person for me. I feel like me personally, like you wrong about that, because it's just like if me and you end. Who you think is gonna have my
loyal
back at the
friends,
end?
The loyal people
Yeah.
that you were with.
Yeah.
from the
Exactly.
beginning. Yeah.
So one thing I learned in this lifetime is that like when it comes down to like dating, you gotta really know who you actually really dating. You gotta know who you actually really about to give
Right.
your whole time to. Cause it's like if you cannot sit here and feel like that person is gonna bring you that peace of mind and that happiness that you really was seeking for, then it's like you shouldn't even get in that situation.
And that's
to
why
begin
you
with.
don't rush anything.
No, you
Like
don't.
to me, from that perspective,
like
if-
give somebody a title.
no, you don't have to. Listen, you could just be dating and not even have a title. You could just be dating, but the thing is, you could have a title.
You're gonna
Title's
be like,
more,
what are we?
more along the
Don't
lines.
have you on the what are
It's
we?
whatever. Honestly, it's whatever you
For
prefer.
a few
It's
months,
whatever you
yeah,
prefer.
it's
To be
like-
honest with you, it's free. It's freedom to choose. But what I'm saying is take your time to get to know the person.
Nah,
Date
that's
them.
true.
Take your time. Because sometimes you may hock yourself up into something and may not even know what you're getting yourself into.
That's true.
But like, have y'all ever been in a situation where it's like you and that person that you dating, like y'all getting to know each other, y'all building a bond, then she hits you with the like, so are we together or not? Like, have y'all ever been in that situation?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Many times? So I'm lucky I'm not the only one, cause shit.
Nah, I mean, most of my relationships are private. I never post my
Yeah.
my
Yo,
relationships no
and
more.
no,
I
that's-
stopped doing that.
I feel like that's something I did a while ago.
I mean, people
Yeah.
know, like my friends do that. They post. Not to say anything. They post their girls and everything like that.
Yeah,
Me
but
personally, I keep all my relationships private.
No, that's a
and
fact,
they're
and that's a
so
good
much
thing.
Smart.
much better.
But-
in my opinion, I don't think having that relationship.
But here's the thing:
outside
a lot of females that you dated are private people. A lot of females out here nowadays
Nobody
are
needs
not
to know your
private
business.
no more.
Nobody needs to know your business.
Everybody
Nobody-
want to be on that social media stuff nowadays. So it's like I dated females like that. I dated females that be like, "Oh, why you don't post me?" Or like, "Why you not posting me on Snap,
'Cause they-
Facebook,
they,
all that?"
They
like,
want that attention.
like,
They want
you
that,
don't
they want,
need that
they
attention.
need to be
They
validated.
want it
Like,
to be
ain't no
validated.
validation
saying,
with me.
Okay,
But that's what social media is. If you think about it, it's validation for
Everything is validation.
whatever it is.
my social media is a business now. It's not
Nah,
no
facts.
validation.
I
It's
fuck
all
you
about
on that.
business.
I'm just
Everything
saying
is-
that's
it's
what
all
has
about
made
business now.
social
I'm
media
sorry.
kind of have a downfall
Yeah.
because it depends on the validation. The thing is, nobody needs to have a validation if they know themselves are validated.
But
That's true.
You
then
don't
again,
need to
look-
prove anything to anybody.
Nah, but then
Exactly.
again, look at the
Having a
climate that
private
we in.
relationship is. I don't like hatred on my relationships at all.
Right.
That's one thing. So I'd rather keep myself private and stuff like that. If you ever see me post a girl, that's for the world. That's not for me. That's for the world to
Nah,
see.
facts.
That's
Like,
the
that's
world's
the-
girl. That's not
Right.
my
That's-
girl.
that's-
And that's the message you're sending.
yeah. That's y'all's.
You don't want
Mine
anybody in
is
your
right
business.
here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the thing is, let's just say you do post something, obviously, as a couple. Let's just say
Yeah.
you do. It's going to be mostly positive. Nobody wants
Yeah.
to, I'm not saying nobody will understand and nobody wants to hear it. But the thing is, most people do post only the good things.
That's true.
No, that's what you
I mean,
gotta
back
do.
to the topic of toxic relationship. That is kind of considered as a toxic relationship. If you don't post them and it starts an argument.
Well,
Yeah,
well,
cause yo, I've been in that situation.
That
It all
can
comes down to
definitely be a
attention.
toxic trait. Not
Yo,
saying
yeah.
that
I've
the
been
relationship
in
is
that
toxic.
It all comes down to
situation
attention.
So many
It's
times.
opening a door because it's like, and don't get me wrong, I'm guilty of it too.
Yeah.
You know,
guilty
but,
of it.
but not in
We
the
all
sense
are.
of like, doing it so I can play around and stuff. It's just
Yeah.
I'm private in the sense of that.
Mhm.
But I
Alright.
also am guilty of posting because it's like this is like if I'm with a person, I don't have no shame in sharing that. I mean, people,
Yeah.
regardless, inside, outside, close circle or not, are gonna say something
That's
bad.
true.
Listen,
Period.
I don't
You
mind
know?
posting, but it got to be a limit. Like I can't post you every day. Like I've been in situations where it's just like you want me to post you every day. That's not happening.
See, I think that's a bit much.
Yeah,
but I'm
that's
thinking,
too
That's
like,
way
much.
too much.
That's
But
not
but,
happening.
like
That's
the
not.
common
Yo.
like
But
post
there are
here and
people-
there, you know what I'm saying?
No,
But
especially if you don't post them and they have your password to your social medias and like they
Oh, you giving
posted
passwords out?
themselves.
It
I
all-
was like, nah.
it all
That's
boils
You
not
give
a
down.
level of
passwords out?
trust.
I don't do passwords.
No,
The
bro.
common,
that is
the
also a
com,
level
right? I
of
don't do that
trust.
either.
I-
The common,
I think there should be a level of like,
Right.
I don't agree with the
Privacy,
password
you
thing.
know?
I'm
But
like,
you
you
ha-
gonna look?
That's
you can
way
look,
too
'cause I ain't got
much.
nothing to hide.
Man,
But like,
listen.
if you're able to log in when I'm sleeping, I think.
I mean,
that's
man,
that's
listen.
crazy.
That's
Here's
a
the
lot of females. A
I
lot
don't
of
have
females
nothing to hide. I
detected.
never cheated on any women ever.
Facts.
And but the thing is, it all comes down to attention. Like and the thing is, when you give that person attention, and then they're like, "Oh, well, you're not giving me enough attention," and then they're on social media trying to gain attention. That there's something wrong with that person.
It's all about trust too. Like
Yeah,
that is
exactly.
something that people need to understand. Having passwords and stuff like that, you gotta trust that person. If
Right,
you already
right.
don't trust that person, what's the point of you being in this relationship?
Right. I'm not saying there's something wrong with that person, but it just means you're not getting enough attention to
Yeah,
yourself. You feel like that.
that
But
is true.
if that person is giving you that attention and you're completely
It's like I'm on
ignoring
the
it,
phone with you every day.
you're on the phone more
I'm
than watching the
texting.
movie with me.
I'm taking
Yeah.
you
You
out.
know, or-
I'm spending time with you, and you still want
Right.
attention from others.
Yeah.
Is crazy to me.
Yeah.
It's like I said, I ain't gonna lie. Like recent relationships of mine, it was all about just like you want to sit here and let everybody else validate our relationship when we should validate ourselves. We're the only two that's building an empire. It's not us and everybody else. It's just us, not your friends, not your family, not my family, not my friends, just us. Like, don't sit here and make it seem like you need everybody else's approval when our approval is the only two that matters.
That's true. But that's all the time we have today, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please like, comment, and subscribe to Lions Talks.
Yes,
and
sir.
we'll see you next time for the next episode. Let's go.
Have a good one.
Have a good one.
Till
And
next time.
I'm your host, Montay Savoy, and I'm with...
Rafael Bonilla.
Elijah.
Till next time, Jason Berner.